Are you focusing on the right things to do? Are you prioritizing the right things? So, whether you're the President of the United States, or a senior executive, or an ordinary person, how do you make sure that you prioritize and focus on the right things? And how do you make sure that you don't waste time on things that don't add value? Hi, welcome back to the channel where we focus on helping you make better decisions using 2x2 grids. Hope everybody is happy and healthy and doing well. And so today we're going to focus on the presidential decision matrix. That's right, it's not only useful for presidents though, it's useful for all of us, whether it's in life or in business. And to construct our 2x2, of course, we need to start by picking the two dimensions, the two axes, which, is not inconsequential. If we pick the wrong ones, then obviously it's not going to help us make the right decisions. And so the two dimensions of the presidential matrix are importance and urgency. And just to delve into the two of them for a second so we're clear about what they mean, importance is obviously how consequential the decision in question is. How big a difference is it going to make to us, to our country, or to our company, right? Urgency obviously refers to the timing dimension, or the time frame in which we need to make the decisions, and the consequences, of course, of not making the decision in a timely enough manner. And so the order in which we cover the four quadrants of our 2x2 is bottom left first, which is frequently, though not always, the worst case, the red quadrant, where we quite frankly don't want to spend a lot of time. Then the top right, the green quadrant, which is usually the best case, where we want to spend the majority of our time in this case. And that leaves us with the two yellow quadrants, which frequently are the most challenging and potentially the most interesting ones. And we do the bottom right first, and then we finish it off with the top left. And so going to our presidential matrix, starting, as we said, in the bottom left, these are the least consequential and the least urgent decisions. And to manage your time wisely and to be effective, you need to make sure that you spend as little time here as possible. And to that end, it is quite frankly useful to monitor how much time we spend, or hopefully how little time we spend in this quadrant. And yes, you and I are not the President of the United States, so we may need to spend a little bit of time here to take care of these matters, but clearly, the less, the better. And so moving on to the top right, this is clearly the sweet spot, high importance and high urgency. This is where presidents and senior executives and you and I need to spend the bulk of our time and attention. This is what we need to focus on. This is clearly what we need to prioritize. This is where the consequences are high and the decisions need to be made now or shortly in the near future. And quite frankly, being here can be very empowering and very energizing and a lot of fun. This is really where we can make a difference in our own lives and potentially in other people's lives as well. And so moving on to the yellow quadrants, and here, where in the organization you are, if you're making a business decision, that is, can make a difference, because having people that you can delegate things to can be very, very handy, as we're going to see. So bottom right, low importance and high urgency. The answer clearly is to delegate to somebody who can take care of it right away. If you can't delegate it because it's a personal matter, try to take care of it in a timely and quick and efficient manner, because it may be something that has to be taken care of right now because it's urgent, but it's not necessarily something that is very important and therefore may not be adding a lot of value in the big scheme of things, right? And so moving on to our final and fourth quadrant, the top left, these are decisions of high importance and low urgency. And so what that means that we can actually take a little bit of time to make them, which is very valuable. And so if you're the president or you're an executive, you can obviously delegate this to a committee or hire consultants or that like, or bring in advisors to generate options and evaluate them and make recommendations. It's an important decision, so getting it right matters, and because we have the luxury of time, or at least some time, it's worth taking the time to get it right. Yeah? Now, what do you do if you don't have others to delegate it to? Well, what we need to do is to set aside time at regular intervals so we can focus and work on this to figure out what the right decision is and make it. And so there you have it. So to sum it up, top right-hand quadrant is the sweet spot. This is where we want to spend the bulk of our time because we obviously want to focus on things that are important and things that need to be decided now or in the near future. Next, conversely, the bottom left is where we want to spend as little time as possible, and we need to track how much or how little time we spend there to make sure that we don't spend too much time there. The yellow ones, delegate if you can do it. If you don't have anyone to delegate to, obviously you will need to do it yourself. Bottom right, handle the issues in a timely, quick, and efficient manner. And top left, make sure that you set aside time periodically to work on this so that you have an answer in a whatever time frame you need to have an answer in. And that's it. We've covered the presidential matrix, and hopefully you can now go and put it to good use. Hopefully you found this video useful, interesting, or something along those lines. Let us know in the comments below, and let me also know what other topics and decisions you would like me to cover in future videos on the 2x2 Decision channel and series. Thank you, be well, and take good care. Bye-bye.